topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Eat and Critique Show with restaurant critics Steve-O and Sophia. Brought to you by one of Steve-O and Sophia's favorite Incontro Italian cuisine and steakhouse located on the Walk in Coral Springs. Now, sit back while award-winning restaurant critics Steve-O and Sophia share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly in South Florida dining.
Good evening and welcome to the Eat and Critique TV show with Steve-O and Sophia. And tonight we're bringing you the good, no ugly tonight. We have with us executive chef John Thomas with Sassafras in downtown West Palm Beach. Please welcome our chef.
Hi, Chef.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. Well, we were pleasantly pleased. I am telling you that your restaurant, and we're talking about Sassafras tonight, unbelievable, Chef. And you and your staff did such an incredible job.
I loved it
Thank
from
you.
the minute we walked in. It felt happy. I don't know. There were flowers everywhere. And the staff were very pleasant when you walk in. They were happy. They loved working there.
Yeah.
And then we got to meet you. I waved at you. You have an open kitchen there, so I saw you right away.
As soon as you walked in the door, I saw you.
I'm busy pulling up their menu right now.
Okay.
Well, Chef, tell us about Sassafras.
Where to start? Well, we opened in 2019 in November. So that's coming up on 5 years pretty soon. That's crazy. That went by.
Yeah,
really
that
quickly.
is.
But shortly
time.
after we opened, 4 months after we opened, we shut down for COVID. And it took almost a year to get reopened from there. But ever since then, it's been on a pretty good streak. You know, it's a Southern concept, to put it simply. There's a lot of Southern staples like fried chicken, shrimp and grits, gumbo, things of that nature. But to me, what stands out more, there's a lot of small plates. They still kind of have a Southern vibe to them. There's a little outside the box, a little more innovative, but we still kind of always like to touch back to just using, you know, a couple, 2 or 3 Southern ingredients, something that kind of are reminiscent of tradition and things like that. But we try to keep it as innovative as possible, very unique, use local ingredients or sourcing from other places in the South, just trying to find the best ingredients we can.
You used a lot of the local farms too, I believe, right?
Currently right now in the summer, it's harder to get from local farms, but in season, yeah, we'd use Kai Farm, Swank Farm primarily, a little bit of Pantano Farms. Those are like a couple that we use the most of. A lot of local fishermen and things like that too.
Okay. Well, we were shocked with how much food you brought to us.
No, not how much food.
There was like
We always get a lot of food.
it was like the whole menu almost.
No, it wasn't even close to the whole menu, but you know, you came for a tasting, so I tried to give you as much as we possibly could. We were doing smaller portions, so just wanted to try to give you a little bit of everything.
You did that. You gave us a little bit of everything for sure. And one thing that I did read about you that you and I joked about was your background and how they said that you traveled all over the South.
Yeah, someone wrote a while ago that I went to every Southern restaurant in the South, and we all know that's impossible. So we always kind of laugh at that when someone brings that back up.
So where did you get your training? How did you come up with some of these ideas for your menu? And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'd say the training was mostly at 32 East. I worked there for 15 years off and on. I started as a line cook, eventually worked my way up to executive chef. But I'm working under Nick Morfogen before he resigned, and I filled his shoes. Most of the training was done there and under him, and kind of not only with him, but the other sous chefs that I worked with. We all kind of helped each other and challenged each other and kept pushing each other to become better and try new things and try to get crafty. And it was a lot of fun working there. And I'd say a lot of the creativity and work ethic I have comes from working there.
I loved 32 East. That's a good restaurant.
That's a wonderful restaurant. So, Chef, let's start off. I got to tell you, I'm going to just skip for one thing. Your shrimp and grits was the best I've ever had. The best.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's a couple other good places, but I was so blown away. Just, you're so creative. And I got to tell you, Sassafras is so lucky to have you. But let's start off with, you started us off with the oysters.
Yeah, simple oysters. They're from Treasure Coast Shellfish Company. Shout out to Treasure Coast Shellfish Company and Nicolette. She is the owner and head farmer there. It's a completely female-owned and operated farm, one of two on the east coast of Florida. It's the closest oyster farm to the restaurant. And I found out about her right when we reopened after COVID, and I just try to use her oysters as much as possible. We use them frequently enough where a lot of the guests have become familiar with them and they love them. They have a great salty brininess to them, a nice sweet finish. A lot of northerners that we have a lot of down here in South Florida are very skeptical of a Florida oyster because they're used to possibly the Gulf oysters from Louisiana or the west coast of Florida or even Texas, where they're quite large and kind of gnarly sometimes. But these are just petite, beautiful, pristine, beautiful oysters. So it's really cool to kind of convert someone from the Northeast to trying a Southern oyster and helping them realize that they are very excellent oysters.
They really were.
And you surprised us. You have your own little taste that you do with, instead of putting ketchup and a lemon in there and a little horseradish, you had your own. That was amazing, Chef.
Yeah, we just did. It's a fairly traditional cocktail sauce, but we put some chipotle in there to keep it just a little more unique. And then the mignonette, which is just a classic French sauce served with oysters. We just use our pickle juice in there instead of traditionally red wine vinegar. And there's a little coriander in there too. Brings out some flavor.
Because I'm from Louisiana. I mean, I lived down there for a long time, and you get all kinds of oysters down there. But I was so impressed. So for someone who likes oysters, this is a great place to go.
Yeah, it is something I want us to become known for there. We offer $2 oysters every day from 5 to 7. It's a great deal on the oysters. Outside of that, they're $4 each. But it is a really great place to just get oysters, simple, fresh, raw oysters. You know, there's a handful of places in the area that do it, but we definitely do it right. And it's something that you really can't get downtown.
So, Chef, you do it every day, 2 to 5? And you're
from
closed
5 to 7 for $2.
Wow.
That's our happy hour.
Yeah.
That's a great deal.
Yeah, every day from 5 to 7's happy hour. It's half off beer, wine, and select spirits. There's a pretty large food menu for happy hour too. And the oysters are included in there for $2 each during happy hour from 5 to 7. But yes, you mentioned we are closed on Mondays. For now.
And then, we went to the salad.
I'm going to be going for happy hour. What are you talking about?
But you call it the Boynton arugula.
Because the arugula we get is coming from Pantano Farms in Boynton Beach. I'm from Boynton Beach. I currently live in Boynton Beach, so I just kind of like to put the name on there and shout out to Boynton Beach.
That was a great salad. Why was it a great salad?
Thank you. Yeah, the arugula itself from Pantano Farms is just outstanding. It's a little heartier. It's definitely spicier, more peppery. It's got a lot more flavor to it. But that salad specifically, it's come back around from other menus and other restaurants where I worked before because I've gotten such good reaction from it. Actually, the first time I have put that salad on a menu was at Trist in Delray Beach. with the truffle vinaigrette, roasted mushrooms in there, and goat cheese was originally in there. Now we're using Parmesan cheese, Marcona almonds on top. But yeah, it's a really great salad.
It really was.
The raisins were a nice touch too.
The golden raisins.
The golden raisins.
We had a watermelon salad too.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. That's another one that's just been a favorite of a lot of people over the last few years. It's pork belly and watermelon. The pork belly is crispy, fried crispy. Well, previously brined for a couple days, then slow roasted, and then we fry it crispy, and then we mix it into a watermelon salad. The watermelon salad's dressed in a nuoc cham. That's a Vietnamese dressing. There's cucumber, there's red onion, there's mint, basil, cilantro, peanuts. But the flavors in that are very similar to what you'd have in like a green papaya salad at a Vietnamese or Thai restaurant. So it's really bright and crisp and refreshing. And that pork belly in there really kind of just gives it a great texture with the crispy pork belly. It's really just like an awesome salad to start a meal with the warm weather and everything.
Oh, and the watermelon was so sweet.
Yeah, it's really good.
That was amazing. Chef, do you buy a lot of your food at local farms?
Well, like I was saying, right now in South Florida, it's so hot that a lot of the farms close down in the summertime.
Oh,
yeah. Some stuff's getting shipped in from northern Florida or other places in the southeastern United States. But yeah, in the summertime, you can't really get a lot of local produce.
And now with all the rain too. We were lucky we didn't get that hurricane.
you know what? I got to tell you something about this next dish. So when I was a kid, when we'd go for fried chicken, I would only eat the skin. I didn't want the chicken part, just the skin. And Chef, you brought us out. You're crispy, the chicken with the skins.
Mm-hmm.
What a great idea.
Thank you. Yeah, we've had chicken skin on the menu since we've opened. It's had a few different presentations on it, but the idea is just to have a simple bar snack, something crispy, salty, kind of replacing a potato chip. But yeah, one of our main features on the menu is our fried chicken. So to kind of hint towards that as a snack, a lighter dish, something easier to eat, we have the chicken skins on there as well. Currently, it's with gochugaru pepper. It's a Korean red chili and kubi mayonnaise. Yep, and a little wedge of lemon and scallions on top. Really, really simple.
I couldn't stop eating those. We try to pace ourselves, and sometimes when something is like really, really good, I'll continue eating.
You ate the whole thing.
It was, and just what I have never seen anything like that on a menu. I mean, I've seen fried chicken before.
No, that's very unique. And that's why it's probably called sassafras, the southern cooking.
And then we go to the crispy pork. Oh, we did that.
Yeah.
The chicken dumplings.
The potato.
Tell us about that one.
Well, you came on right on time for a little bit of a menu change, because for the longest time we were running it's our gnocchi dish. We've had a gnocchi dish on since day one as well. It kind of evolves as time goes on. When you were there, we're calling it chicken and dumplings, but it's a simple Italian potato gnocchi. It just has braised chicken in it. We're using country ham it's called Lady Edison country ham from North Carolina. There's peas and carrots in there, some roasted mushrooms, and then it's just a little simple white wine reduction finished with butter, parsley, pea shoots on top, Parmesan cheese. Real simple.
How do you guys come up? All these executive chefs are so creative. How do you come up with?
It's a team effort. I have a lot of good people working with me, and it's definitely collaborative. Just work together. It's not so much based on the creativity or what I want to do. It's what's available to me. It's what the guests want. It's what works well logistically for the team in the restaurant. So, there's a lot of real-time consideration brought into it, not just, hey, I want to make a fun, fancy dish,
Right. We do tastings just about every week, and we've been doing this for a long time. And I got to tell you that the way you plate, the way you're very creative And I said, I can't wait to see what's going to bring us next. And that's exciting. And
Thank
the
you.
taste and the flavors that you introduce, Chef, are just amazing.
They're
Thank you very much.
They're different, and that's what people like. People like to try different restaurants and have like a creative menu, and everything you brought out was very good.
Yeah, and when you're a restaurant critic, Chef, I mean, the food's very important, but the ambiance is, which people are going to love the way the restaurant looks. But your staff, your servers were amazing. It's like they
Thank you.
couldn't do enough for us. It was, and we watched, and they were the same with all the tables, not just us.
Right. They're happy and
Yeah.
they love working there, and they tell you they love working at the restaurant. So
Yeah, we have a really good team. We're really lucky. Everyone there, I don't know how it happened, but they just enjoy working with each other. They have each other's back. They support each other. They hold each other accountable. It's really nice to see, a lot of them being younger, watching them grow and develop through the process. So we're really fortunate to have a really good team there. Just individuals that care about the restaurant, care about each other. And, once you have that, the rest of the service and the shift really kind of just falls into place if everyone just kind of is considerate of each other. So it's important for us to keep that going.
And like I said, when I walked in, I felt happy. You can feel the energy in there. It was just everything.
I know. Chef, you're with a big group of restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Are the chefs competitive?
I wouldn't say we're competitive. We're definitely helpful. If someone needs help with something, or if equipment breaks, we'll reach out to another chef that's in another area if he's got a number, or a guy that can work on ovens or refrigeration or something like that. We just kind of share contacts and help each other out with that, or if anyone needs advice or helping with recipes and things like that. So, recently me and the chef from Dada, Dan Dora, went down to Penelope to help them get open. So, it was a kind of cool collaborative effort to help out with the tasting, and just kind of brought into the circle to help it develop further.
I love how each restaurant has a theme and it's different. And I like unique things and unique decorations. And I took pictures of your lights. I don't know if I sent it to Rebel, but I did definitely put it on our website. I'm still loading your pictures on the website, but it was just different.
Well, that's how Rodney rolls, right?
I know.
Yeah, Rodney has a really good eye, a lot of good taste for decor and design and stuff like that. And he's just got an amazing collection of really unique, eclectic, just things I would never think of. And before we opened, I really had no idea what some of that stuff was going to be in there until a couple days beforehand. And, I was there for a month or two testing recipes and training. And then all of a sudden you walk in one day and these crazy chandeliers are hanging up, and he just pulled it out of nowhere, and there they were. And it looks really cool.
It does.
A lot of people love it. Yeah.
So what are we'll keep talking about our menu, but I had a question. So right in front of the open kitchen, you have shelves above with jars everywhere. Are those pickle juice? What are those jars?
It's a variety of things. A lot of them are in use frequently and rotating out, and some of them up on the higher shelf are a little more decorative. But yeah, we have our house hot sauce that we have in those jars there. There's watermelon rind mostarda that's in there, onion jam, chow chow. Those are the ones that are frequently used and rotating out. And the ones above there are kind of like a, archive of old pickled things and jams and things like that we kind of keep as a pantry to pull down here and there for a special.
That was really cool looking too.
Yeah, and parking's another thing we look at. They have convenient parking in front and across the street. And
that was the best part. You guys are right across from the parking lot.
Yeah, there's a parking lot right across the street. It's not the biggest parking lot. It does fill up on busier nights, but there's multiple parking garages a couple blocks away.
Now we had dessert. And
We had we did talk about the grits, but I have to say as well as Steve,
all the grits.
that was amazing.
Thank
Those
you.
were,
And they were good sized shrimp too, Chef.
Yeah, they're Key West pink shrimp. The size we get are 10 15s. And so, yeah, they're decent sized shrimp. And, you know, the thing with that dish is it's just simple. You know, we're not trying to reinvent shrimp and grits. We're trying to pay homage to shrimp and grits and do our best interpretation of what that might be. And it's such a regionally that dish changes so much too. We source grits from Marsh Hen Mill in Edisto Island, South Carolina. So they're just a really delicious heirloom grain of grits. The shrimp, like I said, from Key West. And from there, we just saute them with a little butter and garlic. We deglaze with white wine, our house hot sauce, and finish it with butter.
That's the reason.
Basically,
you know, most grits are pretty blah. I mean, they're very bland.
Mm-hmm.
And yours were not bland at all.
They take a good bit of salt and butter, and that's what they need.
well, I like the sauce on it because most grits don't have that sauce. And that's what I think made it so good for me.
It was my favorite dish.
That, and I really, really liked that. I like the salad too.
Salad was wonderful.
And I like the gnocchi. I did like that. And I love the desserts.
What now? Let's talk about the key lime because that was my favorite.
Key lime mango. Oh, now
mango
we're
tart.
showing pictures.
Yeah, it's a kind of a play on a key lime tart. We're in Florida and it's mango season. We put mango and a key lime tart together, toasted meringue on top with a graham cracker vanilla cookie crumb. Pretty simple, pretty traditional, just our little interpretation of it and trying to keep it very Florida, you know, try to keep the native Florida vibes in there.
I also took a picture and you sent this one to us. I love the t-shirts you guys wear.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
And then the chocolate.
Those shirts were made, another shout out, but ID Inc. If you need t-shirts, go to ID Inc. My friend Eric is the owner there. He made our t-shirts, so hit him up for a t-shirt if you need one.
Whose idea was it to put damn good food in the back of Rodney?
That design actually came from an old friend of ours, and he moved a while ago. John Dowd was his name, and he did that design on there. But damn fine food was just something that we had on our Instagram bio when we first created it, and it just kind of fit the vibe. And we kind of wanted to say something that was simple, right to the point, and you know, kind of shows who we are a little bit.
You know, John, people don't realize how hard you work. I went to culinary school, and they warn you about, you know, they're very long hours. But you think, you know what? I love cooking, and you know, the hours will be fine. They are very tedious, long hours. And I don't know if people really realize how hard chefs work.
I agree.
You agree? I know you do.
I agree.
They don't know about the early, you come in for prepping or the late night and getting everything put back. And it's just people don't realize all the work that you do.
Didn't you see?
Thank you. Well, I have a good team. There's a lot of people that support me and make me look good, and they're awesome. I couldn't ask for a better team.
Didn't you see how fast he was running out when? No, I'm kidding you. We had the Nutella too.
Oh yeah, the Nutella, John.
Nutella Budino, yes. So Budino, yeah, it's basically to probably oversimplify, it's Italian pudding, right? And we make it with Nutella. So it's hazelnut flavored chocolate. In pudding form, we have a hazelnut bark on top, gives it a little more texture, and some sea salted caramel drizzled over it. Pretty rich, pretty intense, but simple nonetheless.
Did someone tell us that the menu changes every day?
It changes every day. Not entirely. a dish or two here, a couple
Couldn't handle
appetizers,
that too
one of the
much.
entrees. What's important to me is that there's a good majority of the restaurant that stays put. There's a lot of staple items that people can rely on coming back for every single time. My team does a great job with consistently executing the dishes. And then there's a lot of other stuff too that you can come every day or once a week and be surprised with something.
Nice. That's, again, a lot of work on your part. Did we miss a great dish that you want to talk about?
Well, since we're talking about some of the staples, yeah, I mean, and for people that haven't been there, the burger, it's our number one selling dish. I
That's
know
right.
sometimes like, well, why are you pushing the burger? But it's an amazing burger. And it's another one of those items like the shrimp and grits. It's simple. I'm not trying to reinvent the burger. It is a smash burger. We have what's unique about it, house-made pickles, but they're pickles, There's something we call fancy sauce. It's not fancy at all. Onions, American cheese, a Martin's bun. It's just to me, it's almost more about the technique. It's a smash burger. To put it on the griddle hot, smash it properly, get it crispy. It's a great burger. People come back for it all the time. People freak out about it. I've heard it on so many occasions that it's the best burger they ever had, as well as the fried chicken. That fried chicken special. When Rodney opened the restaurant, he basically told me that he wanted to have fried chicken on the menu, and the rest was up to me. So we did go through a process of tasting fried chicken for several days in a row before we opened, trying different farms, different techniques, different brines, different flour mixtures. And what we landed on is really excellent. People love that too. It's sweet tea brined and then goes into buttermilk, into a seasoned flour. It's a great fried chicken with local honey drizzled over top, some Espelette pepper, and some of our house pickled vegetables.
Do you have other choices of cheese? Or just American?
We do, but I strongly advise you to get it the way that it comes. People have this thing about American cheese. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it.
Tell people about your hours.
Our hours. Currently, from Tuesday to Thursday, we're open 5 to 10. Friday and Saturday from 5 to 10, and then on Sunday from 5 to 10. We're doing brunch on Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3.
Ooh.
So
now there is some buzz going around. There's some hype. This is TBD on the real info, but we have been talking about and working on lunch soon.
Oh, wow.
So we'll kind of create some hype. We'll get a little buzz going on that. I don't have a lot more details on that, but it is in the works. So lunch should be exciting. Because we mentioned happy hour when we first started. A lot of local businesses and neighbors that live around there come for happy hour all the time. Some people come every single day for it. Those people are really helping our business and supporting us. So I know that they'll come for lunch too. And then eventually too, once the wheels start spinning on that more, we'll get Mondays open too.
Oh, wow. That's a lot for you. Tell us about the brunch.
I don't do it alone. The brunch is great. Brunch is also, it's another one of the brunch carries us. It's two of our busiest shifts from 11 to 3 every Saturday and Sunday. It started with just Sundays. And then when the green market happens, then we do it on Saturdays too. Obviously the green market isn't happening now in the summertime, but we continue our brunch through that. But yeah, it's a great brunch. It's pretty simple. Our chicken and waffles is a great hit. Shrimp and grits is on that menu as well. A lot of classic egg dishes like eggs Benedict. We have a really awesome pork belly sandwich. It's kind of like your breakfast sandwich.
Making me hungry.
Brunch is pretty wild.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. We got to let people know that you have a brunch.
I know. I should put that on too.
Absolutely.
I know I'm going for a happy hour.
I'll expect to see you there, Sophia.
You will, executive chef.
And we got to go back just for the burger. I swear.
Yeah.
He made me so hungry for the burger. How's your chicken different?
He said the
chicken itself is from Claxton Farm. That's in Georgia. So we source a specific farmed all natural chicken. After we butcher it, it goes into a sweet tea brine overnight. Sophia, you cringed when I said butcher it. I'm sorry. After we cut it, we put it in a sweet tea brine overnight, and then it goes into some buttermilk. After the buttermilk, for a little while, it goes into our seasoned flour. We use a pressure fryer. That's probably what you're looking to get at. The pressure fryer is unique. I never used one before I worked at Sassafras, and all I knew about them was that they use them at KFC, Popeyes, those kinds of places. So I read the manual, learned how to use the pressure fryer, and now everyone else that works there knows how to use the pressure fryer, and it puts out a really awesome product consistently. You can make quite a bit of fried chicken very quickly. And that's the good thing about it.
Text from a listener laughing at me because what you said me cringing.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out like that.
I've got a whole thing of text right here.
So
I guess I should look at them.
how did you come up with the name Sassafras? How
I
did that
didn't.
name
I
come up?
didn't. Rodney did.
Rodney, I figured he
I don't know
did.
why. I don't know why he picked that name, but once he picked that name and I knew that was the restaurant's name and I accepted that, I did my best to work with that. For example, sassafras is a tree, and the bark from that tree is used to make gumbo filet, a spice used in making gumbo. So that's why we have gumbo on the menu. That tree's spice is also used in I don't think it is anymore, but back in the day when they would make sarsaparilla or root beer, they would use that as well. So we braise our pork. It was ribs. Now we're doing pork shoulder. We braise that in root beer. And then we make that with that liquid, the root beer that the pork was braised in, we turn that into the barbecue sauce to glaze that on the pork as we're grilling it. So once that name was given to the restaurant, and I just tried to embrace that and try to tie that into the dishes as much as possible.
It actually has a southern name when you think about it. It's definitely.
Do you consider sassafras Southern cooking?
Yes.
I do, but I also make an effort to not let ourselves get pigeonholed. You know, like I said, there's classics, there's staple items on the menu like the shrimp and grits, fried chicken, gumbo. The pork dish I was describing is it's not barbecue to me traditionally, but it's reminiscent of what barbecue is. And with those dishes, yes, it's Southern. But then there's other dishes like the potato gnocchi we were talking about. It's an Italian dish. I put chicken in it, and now we can call it chicken and dumplings. So I just try to get to something that feels Southern for someone eating it, or describes or reads as Southern on the menu. There's plenty of dishes on the menu that could be Asian or Middle Eastern or Mediterranean, but somehow putting, maybe green tomatoes on something that would have typically red ripe tomatoes, it's become Southern to me.
Are you Italian?
No.
Listen,
I'm from Boynton Beach.
What?
I just had someone write it.
Kidding. I said I'm from Boynton Beach.
Wait, what did you say?
I said I was from Boynton Beach.
Oh, so is my
sister. A lot of people freak out about that. A lot of people from the South can't handle a chef making Southern food that's not from the South. But,
we just had somebody text us, Chef. They want to know, do you take reservations?
Yes.
Okay. And we got
There's
another
a phone number online. We also take them through Yelp.
Why don't you tell us the phone number to call in for reservations? Uh-oh.
I was going to try to say it off the top of my head, but I don't want to mess it up. Give me
Is it on the menu?
No. It's 561-323-7007. That's 561-323-7007. We're at 105 South Narcissus Avenue in downtown West Palm Beach.
Do you do DoorDash?
Yes. And Uber Eats.
Very good.
They have an outdoor dining too.
Yes.
50 seats outside.
Wow.
50 seats on the patio.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow. It didn't
50
look that
seats outside. Obviously, weather comes into play with that, but on a nice night or a nice afternoon for brunch, it's really a nice place to sit.
How many seats inside?
There's just over 100.
So,
There's
okay, why don't
150 altogether.
That's bigger. That's a big restaurant.
No kidding.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing is when you do go up to the door, it's kind of like Penelope. You think you're going to walk straight in, but your entrance is actually on the side, on the north side of the building.
And that's because of weather. And you've realized, you've seen
Yes.
how hot it is lately. The doors to the front of the restaurant are French doors that open up completely. And unfortunately, we've had to leave them closed lately just to keep the air conditioning inside and keeping the guests and the staff comfortable. And that's why the entrance during the summer is where it was when you came in. Other times it's a little more open where people just kind of walk in and see everything. That's why it was a little bit of a side maneuver there for you.
Well, actually, that's smart. And it's going to be beautiful when it's like the
When it's nice out, you can open all the doors. It's amazing. Yeah.
Wow. Well, John, we cannot thank you enough for your hospitality. Your talent is amazing.
Thank you very much,
Sophia. We want to tell you've got to go try Sassafras. If you don't know what to order, like I say, close your eyes and point and you'll be fine.
So do you want, and Rebel, can you put the number and address up again, please? So this is Executive Chef John Thomas from Sassafras. And your number and address again, please.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah. You
561. My personal number?
No.
I'm just kidding. The restaurant's phone number is 561.
Sense of humor.
I like that.
561-323-7007. The address is 105 South Narcissus Avenue, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for taking your day off, spending some time with us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure.
See you soon.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you soon.
Yes, John.
Oh, you're going to see me for those happy hours.
All right, Sophia. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. You too. Have a good night. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks.
That was good.
Yeah.
The name of the restaurant's Sassafras. They're in. Is that considered West Palm Beach?
West Palm, downtown. Almost on the water, actually. It's just a block away where the park is, where the water park is for the kids. It's right there. There's a parking lot and easy parking. Easy parking.
Now, our great producer, Rebel, is in Louisiana. Rebel, should we email you some grits?
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
We'll email them or fax them to you.
No. Might clog up the machine. So
okay.
Let's avoid that.
I actually did like his shrimp and grits.
Oh, I know. They were amazing. They were. See, you know what, poor Rebel, this is dinner time and we're talking about all this great food during dinner time. Hey, we've got some more time. We got to talk about some of these new restaurants that are opening up.
Yes, there's a lot of new restaurants opening up, and the subculture group's opening a couple more to be announced, and hopefully we'll be able to have them on the show once they're open.
We made an announcement about 3 weeks ago, and because we've been so booked up with restaurants, we haven't quite gotten there yet. But Sophia and I sat down and we got so tired of hearing about all these restaurants going out of business. It is so sad. Because some of the restaurants have been open 10, 15, 20 years. So we both made a decision that we want to give back. See, there's a lot of small, really good restaurants out there that don't have a very big advertising budget. So they have to go by word of mouth. And I got to tell you, that's all nice and good, word of mouth, but you cannot keep a restaurant open just on word of mouth. You've got to promote. You got it, but a lot of restaurants just don't have a big advertising budget. So we've decided to bring these small restaurants, out of the way restaurants that we found really good, and we're just going to bring them on our show for free.
Well, we actually bring all of our guests on the show for free. So I want to see if any of the listeners out there know of some of these smaller restaurants, because we've attempted to go to them to try to help them, and we're not getting much response actually from the smaller restaurants.
Well,
So if anybody's listening,
not everybody is closed on Monday, and it's hard to get away at dinner time. So that's one problem. But we are going to start bringing you smaller restaurants, and we want to do this. We want to help these restaurants out because I'm so sick and tired of hearing about restaurants going out of business. I mean, we had one that was on our shows, a barbecue restaurant, been around for 30 or 40 years.
Like almost 50.
In Davie.
Actually, almost 50 years.
And their food is so good, but the economy sucks. I mean, it does. And gosh, what's gone on the last 3 days with the stock market.
Oh, don't talk to me about that. Not only that, we had a very good small restaurant, a Peruvian restaurant in Boca that was excellent.
Very
the
good.
The food was excellent.
They've been open for 6 years. And what's really bad, it makes me feel bad for these restaurants. Here we're in a down economy, and these shopping center owners are raising their rates. I mean, I saw this pet store in Boynton. His rate went from, I mean, he's got a big store, went from $20,000 a month, what? $28,000 a month.
That's a lot.
And he's like, he said, I'm not selling any less, but I'm not selling any more. And that just eats it. I can't. And he's closing down. And he's been there forever. So this is going to be Sophia and this is our way of giving back, helping restaurants
to our community.
Don't have a budget and bring them on a big show like this. So if you know of a restaurant, a small restaurant that you think it's really good, you don't have to go up and ask them if they have an advertising, because we're not going to ask them for any money. But we would love to hear. You can call us at 954-336-3767. And Sophie and I would love to hear about these rrestaurants.
We would. And we have a website too, www.eatandcritiquetvshow.com. And we have a message center there that you can email us and we will answer back immediately. So if there
we check them about once a year.
Yeah.
Well, they need to be checked. No, you're right. And you know what?
It comes directly to my personal email, so I'll get it immediately.
And sign up on our website. It's free.
Our YouTube.
Go to our YouTube, which is Eat and Critique, and sign up. We'd love to have new subscribers. It doesn't cost anything.
The link is on our website, and there's a YouTube button, and it'll have Ask the Experts on the top and Eat and Critique logo on the bottom. So it has two logos on the one emblem, kind of like on the right-hand side. That'll be on the bottom. Ask the Experts are on the top. So we would love to have more subscribers to our YouTube.
Yeah. I also want to tell people, if a lot of our listeners go out at night, they go for dinner. We saw a good movie last night. What was the name of the movie? Raid? No.
I forgot, but what did she say? That's. Remember, she was teaching them that it's fried or
No, it's crispy.
it's crispy.
Yeah, that was
Our show's crispy.
Yeah, it's cool.
Our show's
But
crispy.
it's what was the name of it?
I don't remember. It was about a serial killer.
Yeah, really suspenseful.
It was
Great
good.
movie. What's so cool is a lot of these theaters now got
Food.
chefs,
Have food.
and their menus are really nice. But we went last night, but for two of us, it was $35 last night for two of us.
That's a lot, actually.
Yeah. I was like surprised.
For popcorn, 2 drinks, a small bag of popcorn.
Because the movie wasn't expensive.
No. So we did have tonight the restaurant Sassafras with executive chef John Thomas. Rebel, can you put the address and the phone number up again on the scroll page?
How's she going to remember it? We don't know it.
Oh, we did. He said it a couple times. I'll look it up. Let's see.
I want to get, come on. I had some new restaurants that opened up that I wanted to tell
105 South Narcissus Avenue. And it's actually Suite 130, 561-323-7007. And they open up tomorrow 5. They'll be open 5 to 10. And then Saturday 11 to 3, and then 5 to 10. Sunday 11 to 3, 5 to 10, and they're closed on Monday. So we did have a few new restaurants that did open up that we kind of wanted to mention a little bit.
We've only got a couple minutes, but I wanted to bring those up. Renee's, of all times, her printer broke down.
I jammed it and then it fell apart. So I'm going to have to find somebody to help me. So we have Talkin' Tacos in Wellington. This originally was a food truck that was in Miramar.
Yeah.
And now they have 8 locations and they just opened up in Wellington. They're right outside of the Wellington Mall. And Rebel's telling us we have 3 minutes left. So this one, Del Fuego, is a Tex-Mex restaurant that just opened up in Delray Beach. Duck and Dine setup. It's on the Intracoastal. That one closed. That one did close, unfortunately. So
they're already out of business already?
They've been out of business, Steve.
Why do they have them as new?
I don't know. That's what I did. Anyway, there is a new restaurant opening up in Delray, but it's a famous restaurant in Chicago, and I still
We will get the name.
can't remember the name, but we'll talk about it next time. We have 2 minutes left, so we will see you next Monday.
Go to our website. It's eatandcritiquetvshow.com and sign up.
Click on YouTube and become a subscriber, please.
Yeah, we would love to have you.
And again, if anybody knows a small restaurant that needs some help and they would like to come on the show, email. There's an email there. I'll get it right away and respond. And we want to thank everybody for listening tonight. Thank you, Executive Chef John Thomas. You did a great job.
Oh, we got a great show next week. Why are you looking at me like that? We do.
Oh, I forgot about next week. We have.
We got a great show next week. It'll be a surprise.
Yeah, it's a big surprise.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in today. Everybody on the
West
Coast of Florida, stay dry.
Thank you.
You're in our prayers.
Thank you. Be
God
kind,
bless.
everyone. See you next week.
Thanks, Rebel.
Thank you, Rebel. Night.
You've been listening to the Eatin' Critique Show with your hosts, award-winning restaurant critics Steve-O and Sophia, brought to you by Incontro Italian Cuisine and Steakhouse, located in Coral Springs on the Walk. Be sure to join us again next week as Steve-O and Sophia interview top local restaurant owners and chefs. Steve-O and Sophia are known for their pure honesty when it comes to reviewing local restaurants. See you next week.
That never got back to us. Oh,
Mm.
God. Oh, shoot.